Begin the practice in a seated position, finding a comfortable position you can sit in with an upright spine. Relax your shoulders, root down into the ground, and bring your awareness into your body, into your environment. Connect with your environment where you are. Take note of how you're feeling emotionally. Take some time to set your intentions for this practice. Connect with your breath, feeling the breath, the tip of your nose as you breathe into the belly and exhale. Give yourself a few breaths here in this way. Relaxed body, tall spine, feeling the air flowing in and out through the nose into the belly. In and out through the nose. And bring your hands together in a prayer at your heart space. Breathe in deep through the nose. Exhale for an Om. Once again, a nice, slow, deep inhale to the belly. Once again, inhale through the nose. Allow yourself to sit for a few moments in reverence, honoring, making some prayers, intentions, gratitude, affirmations, breathing. Go ahead and take your right hand, place it on the ground beside you, grabbing for your head with your left. Do a little neck stretch, slowly pulling your head slowly to the left, rooting down through your right fingertips very softly. Think about reaching down through your fingers, reaching up through the top of your head. We'll do this on the other side, reaching for your head now. With the right hand, rooting down through the left fingertips, slowly, gently arching to the right, leading to the right a little bit of extra weight with the hand, not really pulling, but just softly, a little bit more weight on the head, through the fingertips down to the ground. Bring the hands back to your side. Now we'll do a little side bend. So left hand reaches up, softening through the right elbow, reaching to the right, and then we'll switch. Left hand to the ground, right hand reaching up, softening to the left elbow, side bend to the left. As you exhale, reaching up, pushing down through your hips. Hands down to the ground. We'll do this one more time to the right, reaching up with the left hand. Switching sides, left hand down, reaching up with the right, softening through that left elbow. Rising back up to a seat. Then bring your hands to your knees and do some barrel rolls, some swirls, rolling your shoulders forward, arching your back. Inhale as you arch your spine back, you're pulling your belly. Exhaling as you curl forward, looking down. And you can also do some rolling the belly. Again, barrel rolls to the left and to the right, moving through the lower rib cage into the belly. People call these kind of kundalini squirrels, or um, just thinking about some lower spine rotating, activating through the lower spine, middle of your torso. More movement from there than through the shoulders and into the hips. Moving in both directions just to activate your spine, your back. Going back into some of these curls, kind of like a cat and cow while seated. Exhale to curl forward. Inhale to arch back. And then we'll come from here into the rock the baby. So rock the baby, grab that right foot with your left elbow, the knee with the right elbow, interlacing your fingers together, tall spine. As you exhale, turn to the left, inhale center, exhale right, moving with your breath, exhale, inhale, as you twist to exhale, inhale center, exhale twist, just tall spine, relaxed shoulders. So starting with this hip stretch, right? So rock the baby here. Treat yourself, give yourself that care that you might to a small newborn child, right? Cradling yourself like a baby. Now we'll switch on the other side here. So grabbing this time for the left foot with the right elbow, the knee with the left elbow, spine tall, fingers interlaced. Again, exhale as you twist. Inhale coming center. Exhale, twist the other direction, right and left. Inhale, moving with your own breath. Doesn't have to match what I'm saying here, but just inhale, slow inhale, center. Slow exhale, twist to the right. Slow inhale, center. Cradling yourself like a newborn child, giving yourself all that love and attention and care that you might to a small new infant child. Rock the baby, left and right. And we're going to come out of that shape. You're going to come on to the hands and knees, into this tabletop pose, hands underneath your shoulders, maybe doing some hip sway, some hip circles. And from here, we'll go into child's pose. So hips back by your heels, lengthening your spine, rooting, reaching forward through the fingertips. Maybe doing some shoulders, swaying left and right, and then coming forward into like an up dog on the knees. So kind of back and forth through this child's pose, like just giving yourself a little bit of a warm up, back and forth. And then step your feet to the top of the mat, bending your left, bending your right, a little halfway lift with a little bit of walking those legs, pumping blood through the hamstrings, shaking your hips, lengthening your legs, pushing down through your heels, pulling up through your hips, warming up those legs, the lower back. Go for an inhale to reach up as you rise into a standing shape, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, arching to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, arching to the left. Bring your hands to your lower back for another lower back bend. Coming back to a stand as you inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold, hands down to the ground. Pedaling your legs a little bit again, walking your legs left and right. Continuing to slowly warm up the spine, the hips, the hamstrings, the calves, the ankles. Breathing nice and slow, in and out. Lengthening through the heels into the ground, pulling those hips up. Inhale to rise back up to a stand. Exhale, arch to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, arch to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, back bend. Exhale, hands to your side, mountain pose. Inhale to reach up, dropping down into a chair pose. Awkward pose, thunderbolt. Exhale to fold in a forward fold. Now we'll do a halfway lift with a twist. Inhale to reach up with your right hand, looking up to the sky. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Halfway lift, forward fold. Now inhale, reach up with your left hand, twisting your torso to the left, bending into your right knee. Exhale, coming back to a forward fold, softening both your knees, rising back up into that thunderbolt, awkward pose. Hinging at the hips. Inhale to reach up, rising up to a stand. Exhale, hands to your side, mountain pose. Hands to your heart. Breathing in. As you inhale, rise, reaching up with your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping your right foot back, drop onto your right knee. Inhale, reaching up, Anjaneyasana. Asana. Exhale, half splits, left leg long, toes up to the ceiling, folding over your left leg. Shifting your weight forward, stepping back to a plank pose, dropping down, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in and out, downward facing dog. Lengthening your spine, walking your dog if you like. Lengthening your hips up to the ceiling behind you, rooting down through your fingertips, cupping your palms slightly. Breathing in and out. Inhale your right leg forward, drop onto your left knee. Inhale, reaching up, Anjaneyasana. And when you exhale, half splits, front leg long, toes up to the ceiling, folding over belly to your thigh. Inhale, shift your weight forward, step your feet together for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Pedaling your legs, relaxing your spine. Inhale to reach up, rising to a stand. Exhale, hands to your side, mountain pose. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, arching to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, arching to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to your heart, hands to your side, mountain pose. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold, hands down to the ground. Stepping your back with your left foot, dropping onto your left knee. Inhale, reaching up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half splits, toes up to the ceiling, folding forward. Shifting your weight forward, stepping into a plank, rounding your shoulders. From there, dropping down, 8 limbs pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, pushing through into a downward facing dog. Breathing in and out, slow breaths, lengthening your spine, walking your dog or shaking your hips if you like. Keeping those knees bent as much as feels necessary. Pedaling your legs if that feels good. Maybe finding some stillness. Stepping your left foot to the top of the mat, dropping onto your right knee. Inhale, reach up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half splits, long spine, toes up to the ceiling, folding forward. Shifting your weight forward, feet together for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Pedaling your legs left and right. Softening your back and your spine, releasing. On your next inhale, reaching up, rising to a stand, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Perhaps hands to Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold. Stepping back to a plank now, rounding your shoulders. Dropping down, 8 limbs pose. Inhale for a cobra pose. Squeezing your shoulders, lifting your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in and out through the nose. Now let's take a little baby steps to walk up, up, up to the top of the mat, finding a halfway lift. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, reaching up to a stand. Exhale, hands to your side or hands to your heart. More sun salutations. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold. Stepping back to a plank again, rounding your shoulders, activating your core. Dropping down to 8 limbs pose. Inhale for a cobra, lifting that chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Slow breaths in and out. Lengthening your spine. Take some baby steps, walking all the way up to the top of the mat for a halfway lift. Exhale for a forward fold. A few moments in this fold, and then inhale to reach up, rising back up to a stand, maybe a back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart, hands to your side for mountain pose. Inhale, dropping down for chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back into a plank pose, dropping down, 8 limbs pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right heel up to the sky, tail of the dog, stepping the right foot to the top of the mat. Rising up for warrior one, hips square, shoulders tall, right knee bent. From here, on your next exhale, framing that right foot, stepping back to a plank, dropping down, 8 limbs pose. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left heel up for tail of the dog. Stepping the left foot forward. Right foot flat, 45 degrees, warrior one. Rooting back through the right foot. More weight in the right foot than the left. Spine tall, breathing slow. Framing the left foot, stepping back to a plank, dropping down to 8 limbs pose. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lengthening your spine, maybe pedaling your legs. Inhale, right heel up, stepping the right foot to the top of the mat. Rising up for a crescent lunge, left heel lifted still, not flattened. Shoulders square, hips fit square. On your exhale, bring your left hand to the ground inside of your right foot. Twist to the right for a revolved lunge. Reaching up with your right hand to the ceiling, framing that right foot. Rising back up now to warrior one. Left foot's flat this time. Shoulders square, hips square, spine tall. Here, pyramid pose. Lengthen both legs. Step your feet together, maybe by a handprint. Squeeze your fingers together, interlace them behind you as you fold shoulder, rib cage to your thigh. Long spine, both legs long, relaxing through the back and the neck. Bending into the left knee, rising back up. to a very short warrior one stance. Step back to the crescent lunge, left heel lifted this time, not flat. Exhale, framing the foot with both hands, stepping back to a plank, dropping down to 8 limbs pose. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel up for tail of the dog. Stepping to the top of the mat. Again, crescent lunge, keeping the right heel lifted, shoulder stacked, hips square. See if you can bring more weight back through that right thigh, back into that right heel. Now as you fold right hand to the ground, next to your left foot, left hand twisting your torso to the left, reaching up with your left hand, that revolved lunge. And from here, rising back up to warrior one again, right foot flat, rising up, reaching up with your hands, rolling back your shoulders, lengthening your spine. And from here, we'll do that pyramid pose again. Lengthen your left leg, step your feet together, maybe a footprint or so. Lengthen your spine and fold with rib cage to the thigh, belly to the thigh, spine long. Interlacing your fingers behind you, squeezing your shoulders, lengthening your spine. Rising back up, stepping back into the crescent lunge, so right heel lifted, not flat. Shoulders tall, hips square, pushing back through that right heel. Coming back to a runner's lunge, stepping to a plank pose. Dropping down, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel up, tail of the dog. Stepping forward to the top of the mat, rising up for warrior two. Heel to arch alignment, gazing over your front fingertips, arms extended front and back. Relax spine, relax. We'll flow from here into a triangle pose. So reaching out with that right hand to your foot or to a block. Left hand reaching up to the ceiling, lengthening your spine, shoulders, hips, feet, all stacked in about one line. Shoulder upon shoulder, head looking up to the ceiling. Breathing slow, lengthening your spine, bend into that right knee, rise up to warrior two. From here, we'll do a wide-legged forward fold. So pivot your toes all to the long edge of the mat. Release the spine, lengthen the legs, hips up to the ceiling. Maybe even pushing down a little bit into the ground. Hands underneath your shoulders or under your hips. And we'll pivot to the right through a runner's lunge and come into a lizard pose. So both your hands inside of your right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Left knee lifted or down onto the ground. Maybe rocking a little bit front and back. You can also drop onto your forearms if that's comfortable for you. Breathe here in this lizard pose, rocking a little bit front and back. Front and back, slow. Stepping back to a plank from there. Dropping down, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in and out. Walking your dog perhaps, left and right legs bending. Inhale your left heel up to the ceiling. Exhale, stepping forward to the top of the mat, rising up for warrior two. Heel to arch alignment, gazing over those left fingertips, relaxing your shoulders. From this, we'll reach forward into a triangle pose. So lengthen that left leg, left hand down to the shin or to the floor, twisting to the right, reaching up with your right hand, lengthening your spine, gazing up to the ceiling. Lengthening your legs and your hips. Feeling your body aligned, heads, shoulders, hips, feet. Bending into that left knee, rising back up through a warrior two into wide-legged forward fold again. So pointing your toes to the long edge of the mat, interlacing your fingers behind you this time, lengthening your spine and folding, squeezing your shoulders together, pushing those hands up to the ceiling, towards the wall in front of you perhaps. Rooting down to the pinky toe edges of your toes, hips up, lengthening your hamstrings, pushing down through your feet, relaxing your spine, releasing, folding. Soften those knees, rising back up into a stand. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and pivot into the runner's lunge. Walk out from that runner's lunge into a lizard pose. Left foot walks out to the left side of the mat, both hands inside of the left foot. You can drop onto your right knee. You can drop onto your forearms. Both good choices. Maybe rock a little bit front to back, side to side. Let's move back from here into the gate pose. So drop onto your right knee, left foot extended, right out to the side, your toes pointed up to the ceiling. Lean to the left, that left hand toward the ground in front of your knee, right hand reaching up and over your body in the direction of the left foot. Then from here we'll rise up into a kneeling half moon. So left foot lifts, right hand on the ground to the right. Perhaps from here you'd like to grab for that left foot, bending your knee, right hand on the ground, reaching for that left foot with your left hand. Coming back up through that gate pose, we'll sit back onto the ground and go for a revolved head to knee pose. Right foot and the inner thigh, facing that bent right knee, bending laterally, left elbow in front of or inside of the left knee, grabbing for your toes, the arch of your foot or something, or reaching over to the left with your right hand, rooting down a bit through that right hip, looking ever more upwards, rotating the shoulders more to the right, the spine maybe rotating more to the right, lengthening the spine, folding, And from here, we'll come back up into Stargazer. Lift up your hips, root down through your right knee, reaching up, arching back, sitting back down, and we'll rise up into Skandasana pose, right? So onto your right foot, left leg long, toes up, and you can switch back and forth between the sides, maybe a little bouncing back and forth, bending your left knee, lengthening your right, going back and forth. Stretching out your hips, your hamstrings, your calves and arches. From here, we're going to twist now to your left. Left leg bent, left knee bent, right leg long. Runner's lunge into another lizard pose, left foot out, out, out to the outer edge of the mat. Both hands inside of that left foot. Maybe again rocking forward a little bit, rocking back. Rising back up into Anjaneyasana, into the half splits. Folding forward over that extended left leg. Shifting your weight forward. And now from here, we're going to switch sides and do this on the other side. So left leg down, left knee bent, right leg long, out to the side, and point those toes up to the ceiling. And folding a side lateral bend, right foot, right hand reaching to the ground inside of your maybe right knee, left hand reaching up, arching to the left, maybe gazing up towards the ceiling as you laterally bend to that right side of your body. And then from here, rise up to that kneeling crescent moon. So on that left knee, right leg lifted and long. Perhaps you'd like to bend that right knee, grab for it with the right hand, arch your back a little bit. Get some quad stretch there, some back bend stretch, shoulder stretch. And from there, we're going to pop down into the revolved head to knee pose again. So left knee bent, perhaps reaching somewhere into the inside of that right foot with your right hand, toes, arch of your foot, calf, twisting that torso more and more and more so to the left as you reach up and over laterally with that left hand in the direction of your right foot, folding to the right, rooting through that left hip, breathing slow. Rising back out of there into the stargazer pose, rooting down through your left knee, reaching up, raising your hips, arching back, reaching up with that right hand behind you, dropping down from there, getting ready for Skandasana again. Right, so maybe staying, finding some stillness, or continuing in this kind of bouncing back and forth, bending one knee while lengthening the other, moving back and forth, shifting between these, bending one leg, extending the other leg. And then from here we'll pivot once again to the right this time into that runner's lunge, moving from that runner's lunge into a lizard pose. So both hands inside of that right foot, on the knee or off the knee, on the hands or on the forearms. Perhaps rocking front and back. And from there, rising onto your knee, kind of flowing through Anjaneyasana for a moment into half splits pose, folding forward over the right leg, toe up to the ceiling, relaxing your spine. Come back from there, and we're going to shift. If you'd like to turn back around towards what was originally the top of your mat, and then we'll come from here into some seated shapes. So we'll do this reclined hand to toe pose. Starting in Shavasana, go ahead and bend your right leg, maybe using a strap, maybe grabbing for your right hamstring, or if it's okay for you to grab that toe with the right hand, grab for the right toe, kick your right heel long up into the ceiling, square your hips down, lengthen, kick down and long through your left heel. Relax your spine. And from here, swing that right leg out to the right side of your hips. Thinking about keeping your shoulders, your hips still flat on the ground as your foot and leg swing to the right, lengthening your spine, kicking long through your left heel and your right at the same time. Bringing that right leg, swinging it back up towards the ceiling in front of you, lifting up through your shoulders to your chest, bring your rib cage in the direction of your thighs as you inhale. Exhale, come back down to Shavasana for a moment. And then we'll prepare for the other side, for the left side this time. Spine nice and long. And bend that left knee. Grab for that left toe or a strap for the left hamstring. And kick that heel up, up, up into the ceiling. Root down through your hips, root down through your spine, root down through your right heel. Engage down through your right heel and up through your left heel, both at the same time. Breathe slow. And from here, prepare to swing that left leg out to the left. Again, squaring those hips, hands maybe on the hips if you like. Your right hand can also reach out to your side, right over outside of your shoulders to keep you rooted. Let the spine long and square and rooted down to the ground, engaging through the right heel. Slowly swing that left foot back up to the ceiling above your hips. Inhale, lifting your shoulder, your rib cage in the direction of your thigh, your head up to your knee. And then when you're ready to exhale, slowly let go of the foot. Bring the heel back down, shoulder back down, hands to your side. Maybe like one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. We'll come up from here into the cow face pose. So go ahead and bring that left foot underneath your right thigh, outside of your right hip, stacking your right knee on top of your left knee, right heel outside of your left hip. And then you're going to bring that right hand up to the sky, reaching behind you with the right hand, maybe pushing into the right elbow with the left hand. Reaching out with your left hand to the side, turning your thumb down. hinging that left elbow and interlacing fingers, squeezing your shoulders, lengthening your spine, perhaps even folding forward, belly to thigh. Inhale to rise back up. Let go of the shoulders. Release. Give yourself a little shoulder shake, neck roll. Switch sides. Right foot under your left thigh by your left hip. Left knee stacked on top of the right knee. Left heel outside of your right hip on the ground. Grabbing for your left elbow with your right hand. Pushing back with your skull back onto the tricep. Right hand reaches out to the side, thumb turns down. Hinging at the elbow, interlacing your fingers, lengthening your spine, maybe pulling those fingers together a little bit, rolling back your shoulders, lengthening your spine. Breathing deep. And here again, possibly folding forward, belly to thigh, ribcage to the knees. Gently inhale, coming back up to an upright seat, releasing your fingers, letting go of the grip, relaxing your shoulders, maybe again rolling your neck, releasing your shoulders, shaking them out. We'll come from here down to the ground, onto your belly, onto your thighs. Get ready for a bow pose. Go ahead and bring your hands back by your hips. Bend your knees, grabbing for your feet, for your shins perhaps. Squeeze back your shoulders. Lift your head, lift your chest, and push those feet into your hands, squeezing your knees together. Keep those knees about hip-width distance, lifting your thighs off the ground. Breathing in and out, nice and slow. Exhale, coming back down, maybe with a hand pillow, hand upon hand, one cheek resting on your hand. You bend your knees, do some windshield wipers, shaking them left and right. So come back again for bow pose number 2. Hands down to the ground, bending those knees, grabbing for your feet. Inhale to lift. Squeeze back your shoulders, lift your chest, lift your head. Push those feet into those hands, lifting your thighs off the ground, arching your spine. Breathing in slow, breathing out slow. Slowly coming back down to the ground. Let's push back into a child's pose for a few moments. Rocking forward onto the knees. We'll go for a third bow pose. Bow pose for the third time. Right, so hands back down by your hips, chin on the ground, looking forward, bend those knees, grabbing for those feet, squeezing back those shoulders, lifting the chest, pushing those feet into the hands, lifting those thighs up off the ground. If you like, you can rock a little bit. It's fine. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Nice and slow. Taking your time, to lower, and then push back one more time into a child's pose. Let yourself settle and release. Let's take your time to come out of that child's pose. Maybe push up into a downward facing dog from that. And we'll come from this downward facing dog up into a pigeon pose. Right? So right knee coming to the front of the mat by your right palm, left leg long, right heel kind of angling back towards your left hip. No pressure at all, no pain, no discomfort in the knee or anywhere else. Think about the hips being very square, those thighs being parallel to each other, knee. And just think about your spine being nice and tall and long if you like to stay upright. You can stay upright here or you can fold. You can fold belly to thigh if you like. I like to stay upright for a little bit of time. But let yourself melt and fold and breathe nice and slow. Breathing in and out gently. And then from here, let's take your time very, very slowly. You start to come up out of this shape. Give yourself a few moments to maybe unwind, maybe shake it out as you prepare to go back up into maybe a downward facing dog again. Give yourself a few breaths in a dog before you move into the lizard pose now on the other side. That left knee reaching to the front of the mat, close to where your palm was. Heel maybe angling back in the direction of your right hip. Hips square. Be very careful that there's no pressure on the knee, no pain, no discomfort whatsoever. Your legs kind of parallel to each other, front and back. Hips square, spine tall and long. Breath slow. And again, if you like to fold, if you like to stay upright, both fine choices at any point in this shape. Just let yourself release, breathe, settle, calm down into the shape as much as possible. relaxing, releasing, some stillness. And here again, very slowly, taking your time once again, as much time as you need to slowly come up. I'm going to come from here, this shape, into the Ardha Matsyendrasana. Right, so coming up onto the seat, the left foot outside of your right hip under your right thigh, right foot on the outside of your left knee, spine tall, right hand reaching behind you, left hand or elbow or shoulder pressing against that right knee as you twist to the right. Inhale to lengthen your spine, exhale to release and that twist over your shoulder, looking more behind you with every exhale. Inhale taller, exhale releasing. To the right, twisting to the right. Breathing slow. Let's come out of this and we'll do this on the other side. So the right foot under the left thigh by the left hip, left foot on the outside of the right knee, grabbing for that left knee with your right hand or elbow or shoulder, pushing against that knee, right hand on the ground behind you as you inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale, twist ever more so to the left, looking over that left shoulder behind you, lengthening your spine. Exhale, let it ring out. Release, let go. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly coming back to the center, returning to our final Shavasana for a few moments here in the last asana of our practice here. Legs long, spine relaxed. Maybe one hand on your heart or a hand to your belly, perhaps hands to your side, palms up or palms down. Let your awareness move to your breath, relaxation of the body.